Ben, does that top what happened at the World Cup?
It's certainly close. Walking off there at the end when, the whole of Headingley was, standing up and celebrating. It was a very special moment and something I had to try and take in, I think, because moments like that don't come along very often. And it was just an amazing game to be a part of, to be there at the end and still keep our Ashes hopes alive. It was a pretty special feeling coming off at the end, yeah.
Ben, what's going through your mind when the number 11's cleaning the steam off his glasses?
He might get a sponsorship deal out of that, to be honest.
Talk about Jack. Talk about Jack's contribution.
I think when a number 11 comes in, needing 70 to win it, I knew where the game. Well, I knew what I had to do in terms of the game situation and what I had to do. The only time I really started getting a little bit nervous or panicking, would say, is when we got into single figures. But those will be the most important balls that Jack Leach has ever faced, will ever face in his Test career. The best one he's ever got in his career. And it takes two to tango in the situations like that. And for a number 11 to come out under that kind of pressure and to deliver when he needed to deliver was fantastic for him to be able to do that. And a lot of credit has to go to him as well for us being able to cross the line there at the end.
Rory, do you want to? Yeah, just pass the mic down to Rory.
Ben, what did you actually in the innings find harder, sort of flipping the guys into the stands for 6 every 5 minutes, or the 2 from 50 balls last night?
It's probably I think when Nathan Lyon came on, when we needed 8 to win, was a very, very good piece of captaincy from Tim Payne, to be fair. Obviously, everybody was out on the boundary. It was a pitch that was very helpful for spin bowling. And obviously, I was trying to attack the first half of the over, every over when Jack came in. So I thought it was a good ploy from him. I would much rather have been facing one of the seam bowlers than Nathan Lyon at that point. And I wasn't quite sure whether to keep on going like I was, or to try and win it in ones and twos. But I thought, well, I've got us to this point from playing a certain way, so I'm just going to keep on going. But I had to make sure that I picked the right ball. I made sure I committed to what I did. I got my pitching wedge distance quite good today on a few occasions, especially on that last one that I just managed to go over the head. But I thought credit to Tim Payne for having the courage to bring on an off spinner at that stage in the game.
In terms of your overall contribution to the Test, can you just give us a few words on that unbelievable spell, the best part of 25 overs? You sort of squatted at that end for kept it down. I mean, have you ever done anything like that, bowled 25 overs at that pace?
No. I mean, whatever the stage of the game is, whether it's with bat or with ball, the team that I'm playing for, representing, is going to get everything from me. Last night, that spell where I had to bowl at the end when obviously Joffrey went off with cramp was a time to stand up and deliver something like that. I really enjoy being the person that Joe turns to in situations when it isn't going our way. And just sort of like to stand up and not do the easy things all the time and do the hard yards as well. And that's the best thing about being an all-rounder in cricket, is that you get to influence the game with both ball and bat. You're never out of the game, and you can always contribute towards your team getting over the line and winning.
Pass the mic behind.
Hey Ben, afterwards Michael Vaughan said that was the greatest Test match innings of all time. With all the pressure of what was at stake and the Ashes on the line and the huge hitting and the deafening atmosphere, is that the innings that you're most proud of in your life?
I think in terms of where we were at, in terms of this Ashes series, I'm obviously over the moon that we've managed to stay in the series. If we lost this game, then the Ashes were gone. So to be sat here especially after getting bowled out for 67 to still be in with a chance of getting the earn back is an amazing feeling. And walking off there at the end was, just a time to take everything in and realise what we had just done as a team, not just as an individual. I think bouncing back from getting bowled out for 67 to then having to chase down 300 and I can't remember what it was, whatever it was, was brilliant. But at the same time, we've got a few days off here before the next test starts. So, when we turn up to Manchester, we've got to put everything behind us, what we've just managed to achieve, and start again in Manchester. Because this will all be forgotten if we lose the next test match, because then the Ashes are gone.
Can you just describe the noise out there? What did it feel like?
Deafening, absolutely. And to be fair to Leeds, they're always with us. Not just Leeds, but everywhere around the country, around the world. The support we get from the Barmy Army and everybody who turns out to watch us play. No matter what the situation of the game is, they've always got us. They're always singing. The Western Terrace were absolutely fantastic. They were cheering every dot ball, every boundary, every time there wasn't, when there was nothing to cheer about, they were cheering. And I hope the fans understand that, how much that influences us in terms of where we are in the game. It gives you that extra drive. It gives you that extra adrenaline to really push you through. Obviously, being tired at the end and stuff like that. The noise in the atmosphere gives you an extra level of adrenaline, and you almost want to do it for them. That the fact that they've been here through thick and thin throughout all the years. Getting bowled out for 67, obviously not ideal, but they were still with us. So to be able to walk off at the end of the game, they're winning. I hope that we can show a lot of respect towards the fans in terms of how good they were with us over these last 3 days.
Go ahead.
Ben, just over a year ago, your life looked very different. I wonder if the high today is all the sweeter because you know what the lows are like.
That was a year ago. It's a long time, a year.
And today, when you made 50 and then when you got to 100, it was notable that you didn't celebrate or barely celebrated at all. What does that tell us about your approach to this innings and your approach to this game?
Well, there's a bigger picture. There was still a lot of runs to get. Personal milestones, especially in situations like that, mean absolutely nothing. There's still a lot more runs to get. I wasn't bothered about how many runs I was on. It was all about making sure that we got over the lines. So yeah, I didn't really care, to be honest.
Mel at the back, and then we'll do Ian, and then one more after that.
Obviously, there are a lot of important shots and moments there. Can you tell us what was going through your mind, like when you decided to switch hit Nathan Lyon into the Western States?
I think I knew the tactic that Nathan was trying to bowl to, which was trying to hit the rough and make it really hard to try and get underneath him and hit it, because it was spinning quite a lot. So I just thought that's really one of probably two options that I had in terms of trying to hit a boundary. Everybody was out on the boundary. I didn't fancy sweeping him against the spin because the top edge was massively in play there. It's a shot that I've been working on and I've played before, so I'm confident of playing it. I got us to a certain point in terms of being really positive and making the choices to try and attack. So as soon as I thought of it, I was just like, right, commit to it and do it.
Ian, pass the mic to Ian.
Just Ben, what was going through your mind when the Aussies had that huge LBW shout right at the end? I think it was on Jack Leach. They obviously burned their reviews, but what was going through your mind then?
I knew it wasn't out against Jack Leach. Now, I've seen the DRS on my big LBW shout, which obviously shows up 3 reds, but DRS, I think, has got that completely wrong, because it flicked my front pad first. Didn't spin, but somehow it's got it hitting the stumps. But that obviously shows how crucial that making sure you use your reviews is actually worth doing it. When you get to a situation like that, and you still need one, obviously, if they had a review left, they would have used it and they would have ended up winning. But after looking back at the footage in terms of the DRS, I still can't believe it was 3 reds. I thought as soon as it hit me, it was sliding down leg because there was no spin.
Simon and John, then we'll do.
Ben, just in terms of your recovery, 25 overs you bowled the other night, and to play that knock today, what did you do overnight? What sort of foods did you eat? How did you sleep? How did you get your body right for today?
My wife and kids came down. They got there to a hotel about 10 o'clock. My wife walked into me eating pasta in my boxer shorts. And last night, what did she get me? I think I had like a knockoff Nando's and two bars of Yorkie biscuit and raisin.
That's the fuel for that innings today.
And a couple of coffees in the morning.
John, last one.
I was just going to ask about the kind of other hairy moment near the end when Lyon was kind of failed to gather the ball. I mean, you were at the far end kind of swishing about, almost like you thought it was over.
I think Jack Leach must have somehow been watching Monty Panesar in Cardiff. I could not believe when I got up and looked that me and literally could have had a conversation. He was that close to me. And he said he thought I was coming down, like I thought I started running. I was, mate, no, I was nowhere near running. But that was huge panic stations there because obviously he was so far out. But as we've seen, that pressure situations in games can really affect what a human does. I think 9 times out of 10, Nathan Lyon would be able to pick that ball up, take it, and take the stumps off and Australia win. But you know, you've got to take into account the pressure that he is under there to take the ball cleanly and take the stumps off. You know, we've seen a few moments in the World Cup with Jason Roy where, you know, he fumbled the ball. 9 times out of 10, he's picking that up and throwing the ball straight over the stumps and taking the bails off. I think that's what a few people don't really understand. That, you know, they'll say, I can't believe he hasn't picked that up. But you've got to understand that the pressure that players are under, and especially in such crucial moments, you know, playing at the highest level and what is on the line. So, you know, pressure makes, you know, human beings especially, you know, not be able to do things that they normally would be able to do, you know, with their eyes closed.